control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Back to the gang of boys. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. Slip and slide on the dance floor.
Pain will be returned tenfold.
Getting stronger every day.
Aligned.
Keep on pushing through the pain. We don't worry till we take no mercy in this life. There's nowhere left to run away. No, there's nowhere left to run away.
Defiance ends here, hatchling. Is that all you have, hatchling? This realm shall be studied. This realm shall be studied by flame.
Hello guys, welcome back to my latest video on my build showcase, where I would like to show you which build I'm running and what is the gear and what is the cost, and maybe how to craft some of the stuff that I'm wearing right here. So where to start? This is a Flicker Strike build that is using Forbidden Shako with Ice Bite, leveler 35. This helm is quite expensive, and as I know, most of Flicker Strike do not use this helm. Just for the beginning, let me put a disclaimer on that this build is kinda expensive. I have invested almost over 10 mirrors into this build, and so this is definitely not a league start build, but it's something for you guys to min-max, and if you do have a lot of currency, it is a good build to sink that currency in. Alright, before we go into detail about the items I'm wearing and about the keyring, I would like to make some remarks around defenses and offenses of this build. That is also why I've switched to POB. As you have may seen in some of the clips, this build can die in maps if you are unlucky or the map mods are not that great. As you can see, the biggest vulnerability of this build is the chaos resistance, which I have not yet managed, to solve this issue. So I guess the biggest problem is chaos damage overall, and also caustic ground degens. That is something you will most likely, die to. As you can see, we do have almost 30,000 armor and 63,000 evasion. That is really needed for general mapping, for you not to die to basic pack of monsters. I do have in this POB setup, two, let's say, groups of gems. If you want to use the first one, you can see it's much higher DPS. It's close to 220 million DPS, because in the main 6 link we are using Summon Skitterbrots with Unbound Ailments and Bone Chill. That is the DPS boost, let's say. But for general mapping, you can drop these 3 gems, and instead you can slot in Determination, Grace, and Vitality. You see the DPS goes down like 30%, somewhere around 70 million. But on the other hand, you do increase your effective HP pool by a lot, right? So if this is on, we do have 80,000, and if we have the fully min-maxed for DPS, we only have 35,000, which is really low, and you will die with this setup a lot. Basically what I did in the start, as I was putting this build together, I focused solely on offense, as I was min-maxing this build, and now I am trying to focus a little bit on the defenses, so we are not dying as much. As you can notice, I have also managed to cap spell suppression here on this character. Let me show you the passive skill tree. If you do compare my character and my build with others on, for example, PoE Ninja. If you sort it via DPS, you will see that most of the guys are not using the Thread of Hope. Instead, they are pathing a little bit through here, through the bottom branch. I have decided to go through here because here you can grab Charisma, and actually on your amulet you can anoint Sovereignty. But this aura setup is something I will go through over later. And this also, allows you to pick up these kind of nodes around here, like a elemental penetration and other important nodes like crit chance and fist damage and life on kill and so on. Yeah, for the spell suppression, I'm taking the small wheel right here, and also 2 points here. Combined with spell suppression on, I think, right, on my boots as an implicit, that is 8, and should be altogether giving me 100, so that is how I managed. Also, we are getting 40% from our ascendancy. Also, as regarding the defenses, we are also ailment immune. Solely by going, for Avatar of the Veil, that is 50%, and the other 50% we do have a shield, which has 35%, and the others I think are here. This is 8, 4, 4, and 4. So in the end, I managed to make this build ailment avoidant. Ailment immune, I guess, yeah. And what else? Right, I think now is the good time to talk about auras while we are still in the PoB here. So as I said, most of the builds on PoE Ninja are not running this kind of setup with Determination, Grace, and Vitality, and instead they are running this setup with summon skitterbots and more damage. If you want to go this way, I recommend going for Awaken Enlighten, level 5. You can do it with level 4, but you would have to make some more changes. I guess, decreasing the level of Vitality, but from what I understood, you at least need, level 15 Vitality to sustain the Blood Rage. That's if I go back to the game, I have Blood Rage on my left click. If I move, I do not lose my life, right, my HP. So that is all due to Vitality. If I turn it off, I should slowly but surely, lose life, as you can see. And I think the breakpoint is somewhere around level 13, 14. But yeah, Awakened Enlighten, level 5. And we are able to run, how much auras? 5 auras with that. We do have a Hatred offensive aura with Herald of Ice. These two are huge for our offense. Especially combined the Hatred with our Watcher's Eye, which we will take a look later. And yeah, we are able to actually fit Determination, Grace, due to the fact that we are going here for Charisma. So we are able to run Sovereignty. And also, as you can see here, in the Cluster Jewel section, we are running small Cluster Jewels with Spiteful Presence, which increases the mana reservation efficiency for Hatred aura. As you can see, important to note is that only we need 2 passives, and here we run Sublime Form the same way, but for Grace also too. I think you should be able to, if you play around with this a bit, you can drop the Enlighten back to 4, and maybe you can use 3 passive small clusters and get more reservation efficiency here, but you know, you would have to drop some points on the tree, I guess, and this is what I have come down to. The last but not least mana reservation efficiency is here. It is really easy to overlook, so yeah, you can actually get 8% here, and overall it just works, right? Everything is nice. We do have 34 unreserved mana, and it is just enough for casting the Flicker Strike, which costs 17 mana, and we do have a mana leech on hit because of the cluster jewels. Regarding our cluster jewels, we are running Blood Scent, which basically, you know, we do get 1 rage on hit per attack. So after a while going through the map, we can get like 30-40 rage, and after that just hit our button right here, Berserk, and we go crazy and everything dies, right? So that's nice. The other one, Feel the Fight, this is basically the mana leech, as I was talking. That is why we can go off and sustain Flicker Strike, you know, being on 34 mana only, I guess. The other cluster jewels are Martial Prowess, it is just for damage, and the other one, Feed the Fury, a life leech, I guess. You know, combine Feed the Fury with the point right here, where you gain life on per enemy kill, not on hit. It, in most cases, it is enough to survive, and it really boosts our, you know, effective HP pool. Alright, and the last cluster jewel we are running is Voices, 1 passive Voices. This is a bit overkill, I think, but yeah, at least it looks nice. We are running the Forbidden Flesh and Flame for Gathering Winds, which enables us to gain Tailwind, right, from the other Ascendancy. Otherwise, we are running, as we already spoke about, Quartz Infusion, Avatar of the Veil, and for damage and Frenzy Charge stacking, Avatar of Slaughter and yeah, Way of the Poacher. So we are grabbing with the jewels Tailwind right here, which is great and really increases our damage and movement speed. And if we take a look at our Watcher's Eye, this is something that was really expensive. I think this one cost like 2 mirrors. I bought it off trade. It is basically, I'm not quite sure if best in slot, but one of the, you know, top jewels that you could use. You do have a double precision and Hatred flat crit at it. So this Watcher's Eye is really good. Regarding the other cluster jewels, I'm using these kind of jewels, Viridian jewels, that do have four modifiers. One of the modifiers is always increased life, and the other 3 mods are crit strike multi, either, you know, global or one-handed or melee. All of these jewels, I think I have 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, only 4 of them. Basically, they are all the same. Yeah, triple crit multi and increased max life. These could be really expensive. I think these were around 50-70 divines each. But yeah, as I said, this build wasn't cheap at all. So just for you to know. Otherwise, we are running the Thread of Hope with Massive Ring. That's important. And the last one is Intuitive Leap, with which we can, you know, save some points. Actually 3 points right here. We can just go for the additional maximum frenzy charge and crit strike multi for damage. Yeah, and also the aspect of the links, but this kind of overlaps, so it doesn't matter. with the Thread of Hope. Right, so that is basically the passive skill tree. You can find the POB in the description of the video. Let me now quickly go over the items I'm wearing. I guess in game it's better to look at it that way. First of all, I'm running a Sanctified Relic with increased cold damage. This is tier 1 best roll, I guess. The only thing I'm missing is some kind of suffix here on the relic. Would be really nice, you know, to get additional, let's say, strikes additional enemy or something like that. But you know, after running 50, 60 Sanctums during this league, I only managed this relic for this character. But after all, you know, it's not that bad, and you can notice it is also in the configurations in POB. If you take this out, you lose some damage, right? So we have 149 million. If you comment this out, you lose like 4 million damage. Yeah, it is something, I guess. Okay, so where do we start with the gear? Right, Mage Blood, that's really simple. The only interesting here is the increased AoE, I guess, and Hatred Aura effect, which combined with our Insane Watcher's Eye is a lot of damage added. If we quickly go through over the flasks, we are running Jade Flask with increased evasion, a Granite Flask with increased armor, right? Silver Flask for Onslaught with resistances, and then basically Quicksilver with reduced mana cost of skills. This is the fact that we can, you know, we get the mana cost of Flicker Strike down to 17, and we are able to actually go off in a map. Last but not least, we are running Bottle Faith, which is quite useful, and this one is really well rolled. So yeah, that's just for bossing, I guess. We already went over the helm. That is Ice Bite 35. The other mod is not quite important. I think you can get a better second mod, something like you know, elemental damage support or something like that. But I don't think that one exists. And also, you know, this one is a foiled version. That is just something, you know, for me to flex. Right, the chest piece, we are running Feral's Fur. I do not have any implicits here. That is something I want to have in the future, because we are, you know, having socketed so many aura gems, something like +2 to AoE, or socketed gems, or +3, +4 altogether. 2 gems would be really nice here. You know, at the moment I just prefer having Feral's Fur with white sockets, because I can slot in these 3 jewels. Right, next, this build actually runs Omniscience. This one has a really nice implicit. It has been double corrupted, not by me, but I have bought it off trade for, I think, 1 mirror or something around that. Actually, the attack speed is really nice. That is one of our biggest, you know, multipliers in terms of damage. And the other increased attributes are also really nice, helping us, you know, meet the necessarily omniscience on the build and keep our resistances. Regarding the rings, we are actually running mirrored rings from the TFT mirror shop. I'll try to leave a link in the description to this shop. I'm not quite sure who created these rings this league, but you know, if you are not aware, this league you can create crazy items with best in slot implicits. As you can see here, we do have increased strength, minimum frenzy charge, and also added flat cold damage per frenzy. That is quite huge. This ring is actually so good that, you know, it is for us the best case to use Calandra's Touch, which actually duplicates the ring, so we are running 2 of these. I'm not quite sure how much Calendar's Touch is right now. It's 60 divines, okay. I think the fee for this to mirror was something around 120, so it is much cheaper, you know, to use Calendar's Touch and not to mirror the ring twice. Regarding the gloves, we are running double elevated spiked gloves with you know, strike skills target to additional nearby enemies, and also maximum frenzy charge with some decent life and a crit chance. The other two suffixes are, let's say, optional. I also have the aspect of the cat on my shield, so this is kinda dead suffix here, and the accuracy is just something I needed for the build to cap my hit chance. But I can see that these gloves can be made much better. Also, they are missing implicits. I think I saw some similar gloves with ally weakness on hit as implicit, which is much more better and much more damage. So this is, I think, the only spot that could be improved on this build further on. Okay, what about the boots? Right, we are running Dark Ray Vectors with Spell Suppress and Regen Life. Spell Suppress is really nice because it helps us, you know, cap spell suppression, because we are missing it on the tree and on other gear slots, because we are running a lot of uniques on this build. So that's quite nice, and basically I think the Dark Ray Vectors are best in slot for Flicker Strike, as they provide +1 frenzy and other cool stuff like movement speed and evasion per frenzy charge. Actually, right, this build has 12 frenzy charges. It kinda oscillates, right, up and down, depending on the duration between cut stealth is on and off. And last but not least, for the weapon, as this is called Flicker Strike, I'm using Paradoxica with attributes, attack speed, and penetration, elemental penetration, and also double damage, right? So this Paradoxica don't need any physical damage, as we are just solely using this weapon for penetration and attack speed. That is all. The final item that I would like to, you know, highlight here is a shield, actually, that I have cell crafted. This is something I have put a lot of currency into. I have basically bought the base of the shield with +1 maximum frenzy charge and 2 other random modifiers, 2 other random implicits. And you know, then I went to use the harvest beasts, and I tried to reroll the implicits to have something good. I actually was able to hit the increased reservation efficiency and also increased attack damage. If you take a look at TFT Mirror Shop, I have posted it there. It should be available. Let me just quickly put it up here for you guys. Right, so this is the TFT Mirror Shop, and if you go to Leak Item Sanctum, I think you should be able to see the shield here somewhere. Yeah, it's right here. You can notice that here it has a increased attack damage, 35%. This is best in slot regarding damage, I guess. It is even better than the increased damage per power charge I have here, because as you can see, I only have 3 power charges, which is 15%. This is much more. You may be wondering, you know, I created this shield, but I'm running different shield. Well, that is caused by, you know, I have started with this shield, and I was not quite sure I will have enough currency to you know, to basically hit the increased attack damage, the best in slot implicit. So before I started rerolling the shield, I mirrored it, this version, so I have something to play with, right? And then I started to work with my leftover currency on the shield again. I had to scour it. It was really well crafted. I managed to, you know, have tier 1 cold damage, tier 1 max life, veiled prefix with flat call damage, avoid ailments, and in the end the aspect of the cat and attack speed. So it was quite nice shield. I just needed to exchange the implicit of the power charges to another one, and I was not quite sure how much currency it will take, so I decided to mirror it so I have something to play with. And then started working on it again, and I actually managed to hit the attack damage, right? So then I used the rest of my currency to craft it up again, and now it's posted on the TFT shop for you to mirror if you are playing Flicker Strike. If we take a look, you know, at PoE Ninja profiles, I guess, and if you input Flicker Strike here and go for Raider, sorted by DPS, and look at what these guys are running, what kind of shield. Right, so this guy is running Spell Suppress and Int. That's not that great, but most of the guys are only running the Maximum Frenzy, right? So this is, if you really want to min-max your build, just letting you know that a new shield is available to make copies of, I guess. just like a little plug for me. And yeah, that's the shield, that's the build. I hope you liked it. If you do have some questions, please leave them in the comments. And this is probably my endgame build for this league. I will not be building anything else, and I think this is all for me for this league. So see you next league, guys. Thanks for watching.